in Oregon. The rematch. This is what you want if you're Oregon, right? You want that smoke, right? You want it back in blood. This is how you do it, right? Neutral setting at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. You got a chance to punch your ticket officially. You get to punch your ticket to the national championship, right? And I told y'all called me crazy, but I had a strong take. I think early in the season, I said I think Dan Lanning is gonna mess around and win him a chip eventually, right? I think he's in that conversation. I think he's that kind of a coach. I think he can do that, right? Now the key when you go back and you look at Oregon, you look at Texas Tech, defense ball, defense played at a very high level, forced multiple turnovers, right? And Brandon Finney looks like, oh my gosh, like an elite cornerback. He looks like a first round pick right now, right? He was phenomenal. I think he had 5 tackles, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble. Dude was all over, or fumble recovery. Dude was all over the field, right? So when you look at this game, right, Oregon's going to need more of that. Oregon's going to need guys like Tua Toye. They're going to need him to step up. Ugale, those kind of guys, they're going to need them to step up in his game, if they're going to have a chance, right? You're going to have to force who is not very mistake prone or turnover prone in Fernando Mendoza. You're going to have to force him into some bad looks and bad reads. And your guys going to have to make plays on the ball defensively, right? Now, they got the playmakers on the back end to do it. Oregon definitely does. You know what I'm saying? That's what gives you kind of confidence in this game. Oregon has that, right? Can they do that consistently, though, right? It's going to be the question, right? Can you force Mendoza to put it into some tight windows, right? All that is going to be very important if Oregon wants to have a chance to win this game, right? Next thing I look at, when you look at Oregon, you're going to have to find some way, and it's underrated. No one talks about him enough, but Roman Hemby, you have to find a way to stop him. Now, I know he just crossed over 1,000 yards, but he gets those tough yards that is very difficult to get. He keeps shortening his legs. He is very, very, very good, right? So they're going to have to be very disciplined when going up against him in this game if they want to have a chance to kind of come out on top. And they're going to have to force him into like 2 to 3 yards per carry, right? That's going to be the only way they're going to have a chance if they want to come out on top, right? So that's number one for Oregon, right? Forces him a couple turnovers, slowing down Roman Hemby, and making Fernando Mendoza, like just making plays on the ball. If he throws it up to Elijah Surratt or Charlie Becker, or he's throwing it into that tight window, forcing the interception, forcing the incompletions, that's going to be key for Oregon in getting off the field. Now, they got guys, like I said, that can force those turnovers into Tua Toye and Ugale. They did it all game. But now, going to Oregon's offense, you got to convert that into points. This ain't no field goal game, right? You cannot go kick field goals against Indiana and expect to win. It just ain't going to happen, right? So you got to find a way to, one, better protect Dante Moore because he got battered and bruised against Texas Tech, who has a really good defensive front in David Bailey, and you obviously look at Romello Height, right? Find a way to make it easier for him. Find a way for him to be able to get the ball out quicker. You know what I'm saying? Him to hit some of his weapons, the Malik Bensons, the Decorian Moores. He got to be able to get the ball out quick if they're going to have a chance in this game, right? Number two, get the running game going. That's your best friend if you Oregon. That's why you've been so good this year and you've been such a well-balanced attack because of Noah Whittington and the season he's having. You got a true freshman in Jordan Davison who's been playing at a high level. Hill Jr. is another one, right? You got 3 different backs with 500 yards rushing this year, right? Your best friend is going to be the running game because why? When they go and they're peeling and they put 8 or 9 in that box, it's going to set up one-on-one coverage with Dante Moore, who's going to probably be the number 2 overall pick in next year's NFL draft in April, right? He's going to be able to make those throws and those reads. I have full confidence in him. The key is can those receivers make those plays, right? Going up against a D'Angelo Pons, going up against some of these top-rated guys, not top-rated, they are top-rated now in college, but not coming out. Can you make those plays consistently against them? It's going to be key for Oregon. But it starts with having a well-balanced attack, running the ball with Whittington, running the ball with Jordan Davison, and being able to shut up the play-action plays in this one. Now, Keon Sadiq is going to be one that's underrated but could loom large, right? Now, Indiana has some really good linebackers, but Sadiq is a matchup problem, right? He's pretty much a mismatch, right? One of the best players. He's likely going to go to the league after this season. If you're Oregon, find a way to get him the ball, right? The intermediate routes, that's going to be your best friend in this game because look at the boundary, they can cover really well. They got great safeties. But the Sadiq against some of those linebackers, you take your chances on that all day long. So if you Oregon, find a way to get Sadiq the ball, right? If you can do that with the running game, you can make this game very interesting, and you can even upset Indiana and come out on top. So those are my 3 keys for Oregon that you got to do in this game, right? Talked about defensively, and then we just talked about offensively. Get the running game going, protect Dante Moore, and lean on Keon Sadiq a little bit. Again, you got the players in Malik Benson and Decoria Moore, but the intermediate part of the field is going to be your best friend. Now for Indiana, whew, there's so much to say. I mean, this team is so good. Like they're so good. It's ridiculous. And it's like Curt Cignetti is always prepared. He's never scared. He always has an answer for whatever you're doing. So it's tough to go against a coach that constantly has that. Like consistently, every time you play him, he is prepared. He is ready to go. So for Indiana in this one, offensively, do what you've been doing, right? Running the ball with Roman Hemby, leaning on Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper, Charlie Becker. You got all these guys you can get the ball to. Lean on those guys in the open field, right? Now, Mendoza, you're going to have to be careful because you can give Oregon some momentum, right? Now, he's not turnover prone, but they do have a front four in Ugale Tuatoe, who plays linebacker. They can get home with a front four, right? So if you don't, usually he gets the ball out quick, but if you ain't getting the ball out quick enough, that could be a long day for you, right? If you ain't throwing and seeing your reads and boom, 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 right? You holding that ball, right? You're more privy to a turnover, right? Now Indiana's offensive line is pretty good this year, but that front four for Oregon can get back there. And if it's a contested ball, Oregon can come down with it. They got the athletes on the outside to do it. Trust me, I know. You know what I'm saying? So for Indiana to stop all that, not a lot of front four to get home. You got to protect well, got to block well. Lean on Hemby to get the running game going. Mendoza hit on some of the reads down the field. You know what I'm saying? As you've been doing all year long. Take your opportunities when it's there. But one thing I love about Mendoza, he don't force it. He always takes what the defense gives. Whether it's a short route, it's hitch, something over the middle of the field, he always takes what the defense gives him, which makes him a really good quarterback because he never like doing too much, right? He be doing just enough. And that's honestly that's what you got to have if you're going to beat a team like this. If we're being 100% honest, right? So that's going to be key in this one for Indiana, right? And I look at it, can you hit on the big plays, right? Can you hit on the big plays? That's been a mark of this offense this year. They hit on a lot of big plays. Look at the Alabama game, a number of big plays with Mendoza and Surratt, a number of big plays with him and Cooper. Can you hit on the big plays consistently in this one? Now, the change up in this one is Oregon seeing this team now for the second time. So they know some of their tendencies. They know what they like to do well, right? So Oregon's going to probably be a little bit more prepared in this one to go against Indiana, facing them the second time. And it is hard to beat a team twice in one season. Trust me, it is very, very, very difficult, right? And Oregon's the underdog coming in. I like Dan Lanning a lot. I just think this Indiana team's playing at another level, man. I think this is a team that's hungry. They want it. They've never been in this spot for a long time. And they believe in their head coach, Curt Cignetti, man. And I think this team is ready to go. And I think they're ready to win the Natty, man. So I think this game will be close. I think Indiana will prevail ultimately. And I think it's going to be a game-winning field goal for the Hoosiers over Oregon, who plays probably like their best game of the season. I'm going to go 24-21 Indiana victory over Oregon. But I think it's a back-and-forth affair. Both defenses play pretty well. Plays are made late in the game, get them into the field goal territory, and then walk it off to go to the Natty. I'm going to go Indiana. 24-21. I think great game, both sides of the ball. Defensively, like I said, if you Indiana, lean on Hardy. Your linebacker, let him blitz. Let him come downhill and force Dante Morris to some bad plays and bad reads. And you should be able to come out on top, man. But I'm excited for this one. This is going to be another good one. Two really elite teams tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Friday night. Doesn't get much bigger than these two teams playing. Can't wait to see who comes out on top. But I'm going with the Hoosiers to win the game. All right. So those are my predictions.